like in Florida, they're scared because they hear about home prices are going up. They feel pressure to do something about it. They aren't sure if they have the right finances in place. Okay. They're scared about raising interest rates. They're worried about bidding wars. People haven't forgotten about the bidding wars that were happening and how scary that was, because it put a lot of financial stress on folks. But there's something you can do about it now, which is great. There's so much information available online. This not only was this survey done on owners.com, but there's a whole bunch of things on owners.com where you can get educated and understand a little bit better, so you don't have to be as stressed out. That's what I'm trying. Today I'm really spending time alleviating some of that stress for people, trying to tell you how you can make the purchasing process easier, how you can actually save or make money going through this process as well.
Does it include things that you might not know right away, like, for example, homeowners association rules, or even like city council rules, or that kind of thing that may not necessarily be revealed right away when you're buying a home?
Well, some of those things are easier than others. A lot of the properties in Florida are in communities or have, some sort of HOA involved, and it's very simple to get that information. And that's, as what I would consider an educated buyer, really the person who is most concerned about you is yourself. And I usually advise people to spend some time online, go on owners.com, start to see what places are being listed for, how quickly they're turning over. And if, there's different folks have different needs. I think you were saying something along the lines, you're the type of guy who's like, you know what, I need someone to help me through this, because if I do it by myself, I might screw it up.
Exactly. So, that is how I feel.
Yeah. And that's probably a portion of the population, but we also have a huge portion of the population that are what they consider themselves almost DIYers. Like, they're the types of people who are willing to take on a bit of a home renovation. They're willing to take on part of the process of listing their home or selling their home or even buying a home. And that's the evolution that we're really seeing as a competitive advantage in real estate, because you go on a site like owners.com, you can list your home through this platform. You can engage with, someone, a broker, like like you were talking about, who can help you with some of the tricky stuff, like the documents and the legals. Clearly, you're not, not everyone's a pro on those things. But at the same time, because most people are now doing the research themselves online, you can save thousands of dollars through their flexible pricing.
So
it's the transaction cost of real estate that's killer, right?
Okay, so in a way, owners.com sort of serves like a modern day version of the real estate agent.
Yeah, it's like it's the evolution. It's the flexible option. If you need more service, you can get more service. If you don't need any at all, then you can save on those fees in a tremendous way. There's up to 5% of the value of a home available in commissions. And if you're willing to go through a site like owners.com, you can either save on that as if you're listing a home, and if you're buying a home, you can actually get a rebate. You get paid to do the work. It's a pretty revolutionary experience, and it can definitely take some of the stress, at least the financial stress, off as well.
I noticed on here you can even find out on owners.com, you can find out how much your house is currently worth. That's something I don't think I've seen anywhere.
Be careful be careful how deep you dig, my friend.
Wow, I wonder what that means. I'll have to look and see what my house is worth. I know you've got a short.
What do you mean by that? Everybody thinks their house is worth more than it usually is.
Oh,
so don't disappoint yourself too quickly.
The website that we were told about is owners.com. Scott McGilvery, thank you so much for being on the air with us. I know you've got other radio shows to do, and for the listeners, the website is owners.com. It's as simple as that. Thank you, Scott.
Great talking to you.
All right, we will take a break. We will be right back. This is The Source.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to tune in to the first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. to learn about the latest advances in healthcare available right here at home. Ocala Regional Medical Center and Strive have teamed up to bring the most qualified medical professionals on the air to answer your questions and bring information to help you in your decisions concerning your health. Again, that's the first and third Thursday. Health matters.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Hey, this is Dan. Let me ask you a few questions. Does your boat look better with the cover on? Has your car's interior seen its better days? Stop using a towel to cover up those rips in the golf cart. Isn't it about time you had it restored to better than new with a custom upholstery from Captain T? Captain T's Upholstery has been right here in Ocala for nearly 20 years, so they know how to make your ride one of a kind. Whether you want to take that classic ride back to a factory look or put your favorite sports team front and center, Captain T's Upholstery is who to call. 352-369-1810. That's 352-369-1810. Or stop by their location, 5030 South Pine Avenue in Ocala, just past the drive-in. And of course, don't forget to visit them on the web, CaptainTUpholstery.com.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
The NFL alumni is sponsoring a Clays for Kids, a sporting event to benefit the Marion County Children's Charity. The event will take place at the Robinson Ranch in Inglis, Florida on Saturday, April 8th. Call 427-0950 for detailed information. The NFL alumni will provide gift bags, breakfast, lunch, prizes, and drawings throughout the day. Call 427-0950 for detailed information on the Clay for Kids sporting event, hosted by the NFL alumni.
All right, 12 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Thursday here at WOCA, and even on the things I do at home. And maybe this is true for a lot of you. I use my computer for so many different things, including going online. And I've often thought that I think what I should do is have a computer that is dedicated to online, and then have the stuff I do for audio production not even connected to the internet.
There you go.
Because when a computer is connected to the internet and you're trying to use it as a workstation for either art or audio production or video production or who knows what people use computers for, maybe bookkeeping if you're an accountant, it can be we have a computer right here that's dedicated, thank goodness, that does not have an attachment to the internet, but every other computer here. And every once in a while, there'll be one of these malware warnings, and you go, "What? Mm-hmm. What happened? Who did this? Who does these things?"
Yeah.
Michael Sholov is on the phone. He's a cybersecurity expert, and the world changes on a daily basis, and it gets scarier and scarier. And you think nobody's going to touch my computer, and then next thing you know, you've got a frozen screen, and you don't know how to help yourself get out of it, and you got to go get help from somebody professional. Michael is with Checkpoint Software Technologies, and they've got a website that might be able to help us. Let's find out about this and what they do. Michael Sholov, we love guys like you because we hate when the bad guys get into our computers. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, guys.
Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm actually calling from Israel. That's where our headquarters is located.
In Israel?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. You guys are getting targeted more than anybody, probably.
Yeah, but, that's why we have some of the best talent in cybersecurity.
Really?
That's right.
Okay, so,
For you.
what I just described, is it advice? Should I have a computer that is not connected to the internet where I keep all my important stuff?
Yeah, I guess it's a pretty good advice, but I think it's slightly impractical. I think that most of us, even when you do sort of your business related work or activities, you do need to have some access to the internet. So usually, sort of using different computers or phones to do your work-related activity and your personal activity is very, very challenging. I think that the proper way to go is actually to have a good security on one device, which is used both for your personal and work-related activities.
Now, you mentioned phones. I forgot all about phones. Yeah, phones are a target as well. In fact, maybe phones are the bigger target these days.
That's definitely, we definitely see sort of a shift in the interest of the cyber criminals to attack both phones and actually anything which is connected. So they're attacking clearly like laptops and desktops. That's something that they're doing for the last 20 years. But over the last 4 or 5 years, they definitely shifted their interest into attacking smartphones and tablets. And in the last year or so, we also see a shift that they go after sort of connected home devices. So security cameras. Baby monitors, those things are being compromised as well.
Wow. And what are they, I mean, why are they, baby monitors, what are they looking for? Is there a bank account somehow that they can get access to?
Well, so the reality is that those guys, like 20 years ago, you would think that the guys that were doing those things were sort of kids, and they were basically doing it for the fun of it. But those days, they're actually pros, and the main goal is actually either financial. They are either financially motivated, and they have a very accurate business model behind what they're doing, or they actually sort of targeting specific organizations or individuals for their information. So when you look on baby monitors or actually security cameras, usually what they do is that they will actually sort of record the family or like members in the family when they do things that they don't like to be shown in public, and then they actually extort them, right? So we call it sextortion. They will basically send them a video of themselves and tell them either you pay us $1,000 or we start publishing this over the internet, and many people will actually pay the money.
Wow. Well, at least people wouldn't know I was a loser. I would say
that's also a good way to look at
it. There are computers, or we as parents can use the parental controls to keep the children confined within certain areas. How come those kind of controls don't work for people trying to hack in on the outside?
Well, they do. So the problem is that most of us, we actually don't have proper controls, nor on laptops and desktops, people would have antivirus. I would say that very few people they will have an antivirus on their phones. For example, you guys use iPhones or Android devices?
Android. We have
LG.
Android
devices.
We have LG.
Android. The reason I was hesitant to answer is because I don't even know what I have. I'm so ignorant about this stuff.
We have LG. That's what my screen says.
Okay,
that's all I know.
So the question is, do you have an antivirus on your LG Android device? And probably the answer is no, because most of the penetration is of antivirus software for phones is quite low. And clearly, when you sort of go into the camera, baby monitor, smart TVs, you can't even put an antivirus on those devices. So the reason why we actually seeing the bad guys getting in is not because there are no available solutions to solve this problem. It's actually because we are not proper. It's very difficult for the typical consumer to implement and close all the doors against the bad guys. But clearly there are different and simple tricks that we can take to make sure that we are more secure than neighbors.
What kind of a device are you calling in on today? Is it a cell phone, or do you have a dedicated landline for these calls?
Actually calling from a dedicated landline.
Oh, okay. So are dedicated landlines safer than the cell phones?
Depends against what, but typically yes. It's impossible to install it's very difficult to install a malware on a landline. Mm-hmm. Phones are just being compromised left and right. I mean, we see quite a lot of malware, especially on the Android devices. On iOS, it's less predominant, but for Android devices, there is a reasonable exposure, and people should really take care of their phones and tablets and protect them against the bad guys.
Okay, so let's make sure that we don't say goodbye before we find out how we can make our lives a little bit better. Somebody gave me a website to go to. Is checkpoint.com? Is that the one?
Yeah, that's our website. It will be definitely. I think our website will be slightly overwhelming for the typical home user because our main focus is actually solving cybersecurity problems for the big enterprises. Oh. But maybe I can just give you guys a few advice that people can use. Okay. So first of all, if you have a phone, make sure that you have a passcode on your phone, like a pattern or a passcode. That's like the first thing that you should have. Consider installing an antivirus product. We at Checkpoint, we have a software called Zone Alarm. You can find it on Google Play or on the App Store, and you can install it on your phone. If you're using your laptop at home, or if you have, for example, smart TVs, make sure that you put sort of a sticker on the camera. So even if you have a malware on your device, they cannot sort of use the camera without you explicitly taking off that sticker.
Oh.
So those are some of the sort of simple tricks that I can advise people to do, and that usually makes you more secure than others. And then they will, like usually the cyber criminals, if they see that you're a harder target than your neighbor, they will usually go after your neighbor.
Do the Apple products offer more security than the what is it called?
Microsoft?
Microsoft, thank you. Is there any truth to that?
It's actually sort of almost a religious debate on what's more secure.
Oh, okay.
I would say that there are less clearly there are less malware and less cyber attacks on Apple devices. It's not the reason for that is not that those devices are way more secure than the Microsoft devices. Just like Microsoft was in this business for decades. So the cyber criminals, they already know, and they have sort of the best practices of how to go after the Windows platforms, and clearly, and the market share of Windows and Android is way above the market share of Apple. So it just makes sense for them.
And you talk about tablets. Does that also include your television sets? Because that's one of the selling points. Get on the internet with your TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's something that we're starting to see. I mean, especially with the smart TVs, that they are sort of internet connected. It's clearly a new frontier for the cyber criminals, but we see them starting to develop ways that they can get into smart TVs, and as I said, they can take over their camera, and they can take over the microphone, stuff like that. It's relatively new. I don't think that many people actually have smart TVs, but clearly with the penetration of those devices to our living room, I think we will see more and more of those attacks.
Wow.
Let me see if I can squeeze in a phone call. We've got just about 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Michael Sholov.
Good morning, Michael. I'm a senior citizen, and I like to look at the various internet news postings. And I'm looking at a story where they had a picture of a series of pictures of a wolf that was caught in a trap, and how the person went about freeing the wolf without getting attacked. But anyway, I'm looking at that, and lo and behold, there's something else on there on the side, and I'm just following this one story, but I'm wondering, is there certain things the average person should be careful of, and would they attach anything to a bunch of pictures? All of a sudden it seems like it takes a lot of pictures to get through a story. I'm just curious. I'm a little skeptical about that. And the other thing is was there some order that we should possibly look at emails and other things that we normally get to be more wary of? I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Really good questions, yeah.
Yeah, excellent question. So definitely there are ways that there are measures that you should take when you doing your online activity. The first thing is that don't click on links that you get in emails which are not received from someone you trust, right? If you receive some random email with a link, try not to click on it because that can definitely lead to a malware. In addition, when you get emails with suspicious emails with attachments like Word documents or PDF documents, those can contain malware as well. So you need to be extremely suspicious of those things. Specifically around photos on websites, although it's possible to use photos as a way to infect people, it's less the preferred or common way to get infected. So I don't think that photos. It's not that I have something specific to say about photos.
Thank you so much for being on with us, Michael. We ran out of time, but I wanted to make sure the listeners had a website to go to. So checkpoint.com sounds like it's more technical for most of us, but there is a product on there we can use, right?
Sure, you can use that, and you should also check our consumer website, which is called zonalarm.com. It has more sort of a consumer-facing information.
Okay, all right, excellent. Thank you for the great information, Michael, and definitely come back anytime.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Today in Florida Ag News from the Southeast AgNet, where USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service in Florida is accepting pre-proposals from conservation partners for fiscal year 2018 funding through the Regional Conservation Partnership Program. And according to NRCS Associate Chief for Conservation, Leonard Jordan, they continue to promote conservation programs through partnerships.
It's about doing whatever we can to ensure that the private lands and working lands across the country continue to be working land, because we recognize the importance that has to rural America. I call it the resiliency of rural America. And we also are smart enough to figure out that there are a lot of people across the country that have a similar interest. And I've always believed that if we bring people together that have a common goal and a common objective, and we leverage resources, we can get more bang for the buck. But we're making a positive impact on the working lands around this country.
Now, pre-proposals for RCPP are due April 21st. For more information, contact your local NRCS office.
The way crop prices fluctuate, you're actually thinking about trying to save some money by not using a product like Black Max 22 this year. Here's the problem. Because prices are volatile, improving yield becomes your most important strategy. And Black Max 22's proprietary LHC technology is designed to optimize your soil, reduce fertilizer burn, and improve yield potential year after year. Don't let saving money cost you money. When it comes to your nutrition program, remember Black Max 22, because if you feed it, you need it. See your local CPS retailer today.
Headquartered in Augusta, Georgia, FPL Food is the #1 privately owned processor of fresh beef products and ground beef selections in the Southeast. FPL Foods invites you to visit Chattel Farms to learn about their innovative vision for the cattle industry as they showcase their brand new state-of-the-art feeding facility in Reidsville, Georgia. There are exciting plans on the horizon, and they involve working with cattle producers in the Southeast. For more information, visit the event website, chattelfarmsopenhouse.eventbrite.com. Randall Weisman, Southeast AgNet.
Robin, how do you like my design?
You're designing a box?
That's not a box. It's a doghouse.
Rough draft for your rough? Sounds like you need personal service.
I do?
Yes, to print the blueprints. See Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can print blueprints, notarize permit applications, print and mail out invoices, and even provide great-looking business cards.
Personal Service Center. That's the one on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, right?
Just look for the yellow signs. Your pedigree palace will be a reality in no time.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.